Teresa, thanks. A number of new laws are taking effect this week. And here in studio to highlight a few and break them down for us is Justin Isaac. He's with the Lawyer in Blue Jeans group. Justin, I see you got the blue jeans on, so
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yes, absolutely.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about a couple of these laws. One is near and dear to my heart because I have spent so much time and aggravation on the phone trying to cancel a subscription, right?
Yeah.
They get you with that good price, and then they say in a year we're going to roll it over, and they're like going to quadruple it, and then you call right before, and you're like, hey, I want to cancel, and they do everything they can to try to keep you on the phone and not have you cancel.
It's a part of their business model, unfortunately, and this law basically is meant to make it easier for us to get out of these subscriptions.
Yeah.
And it's the whole goal is to streamline that process because of the frustration that we experience as consumers trying to leave these services.
Yeah. So what happens? I mean, take me through it. I think this one, this is July 1st, so we're going to have to wait a few months for this one. So what happens? Let's say you've ordered XM Sirius satellite, or you've got your cable and you want to cancel.
Well, the new law basically says that on their website or within their service, they need a one-click cancellation portion of their website, I guess. When it comes to the phone, I would imagine it's going to hopefully be easier as well too. But on the website, at least, when you go to cancel services, instead of saying, usually when you click on it, it says, oh, call this number. Now you're supposed to be able to just cancel by clicking, confirming, and that's probably it.
So maybe go to the website then, at least first. Is there a penalty if they make it difficult for you? I mean, what can you do?
Well, that's a good question. It's probably going to be some enforcement and some more bureaucracy, I guess, where you have to report that business. And, just like any other new law with any kind of restriction on businesses, consumers kind of hold the cards in what they can try and reporting these companies. And so ultimately, I think it's going to be a net positive. It does mean that these companies will have to update their websites to have this ease of cancellation, which might hurt smaller businesses, but the bigger businesses, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Let's talk about this daylighting law. This is in effect right now. You can't park within 20 feet of a crosswalk, and it's not going to be marked for you, so you're going to have to, I guess, eyeball 20 feet or so.
Yeah.
Why was this law passed?
So the goal here is to increase safety. I guess we have 25% higher injuries and fatalities compared to the rest of the nation when it comes to pedestrian injuries and fatalities at a crosswalk, because you're allowed to park right up to the crosswalk, and so it's hard to kind of see around that car. The whole goal is basically to make it safer for people to cross the street in case a car is not paying attention when crossing or going through a crosswalk. But the problem is it's marked and unmarked. So it does make it a little bit harder for people to know how far to park back from it when they would otherwise be allowed to park all the way up to it. So, and the thing that kind of gets a lot of people too is that there's only 60 days of warnings, right? Within the first 60 days, they're going to issue warnings, no tickets at that point. But March 1st, that's when it kicks in. I think it was a $67 fine for every time you do that within 20 feet.
So there's no red marking on the curb to let you know, okay, I obviously can't park in the red. Is there a situation where sometimes you have marked crosswalks and then you just have a four-way stop and it's not really marked, but you're supposed to know as a driver that if it's kind of two corners, that's considered a crosswalk.
Yeah, so you're going to have to kind of gauge the 20 feet. It would be nice if they had some kind of marking with the curb where maybe it was red, where, hey, you can't park here because this is within 20 feet. But to my knowledge, they're not doing that. At least they don't have plans to do that. And I've heard some people who said that, this is just another cash grab for tickets and whatnot. And then, but there are some real, people who think that the proponents of it think that it's going to increase safety. And I can see that argument as well, too.
Me too. I've been in the car where I'm trying to pull out and there's a parked car there and it's hard to kind of see the cars coming because you got a bit of a blind spot.
It does make it difficult, but at the same time, we want to increase safety as much as possible. Sure. It's just a little bit hard to gauge sometimes, too.
Justin Isaac, Lawyer in Blue Jeans.
All right, well, thank you for having me.
Thank you, buddy. Good to see you. All right, Teresa.